What's up, fam? It's your boy Allende from Authentic Alphas, back with another one. Right now, getting that fasted cardio in. 2 gallons of water a day. About to get shredded. So today, we're gonna talk about your boy Alfonso. Not even gonna try to pronounce his last name because y'all already know who I'm talking about. Your boy cousin Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that we all remember fondly from our childhood, at least us 80s babies and 90s kids. So what I'm gonna basically address is the hypocrisy and the foolishness of this guy going viral for a simple picture of his blended family, mixed family, white family, non-black family, whatever the heck you want to call it. So I'm gonna use this young lady's video about him as a aid and a vehicle to point out the hypocrisy of the black community and also the hypocrisy of women in general. I'm gonna get to women in general because I'm not gonna just point out the ridiculousness of black women's logic, because using black women's logic, I will somehow hate my mama. All right, let's check this shit out.
Later. Today, we have a quickie about an old fool from the old school. Alfonso Ribeiro has it in his delusional mind that he's not getting support from black people because his wife isn't black. That's funny to me because I don't hear any talk like that from this guy, or this one, 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 or this one. And let's face it, we all know that there are many more black male entertainers out there who get a lot of support from black people, and they haven't touched a black woman since they came out of their mother's wombs. If you all can think of some of them, put their names in the comment section, because we all know that I'm telling the truth.
Okay, first of all, she says, I'm just telling the truth, right? Bullshit. What she's doing is one of the things that irritate me most about women. You know, as much as we love them, you know, they do have some traits and some tendencies that are just, for me personally, is really frustrating, because I really hate stupidity and I hate ignorance. And the thing that I notice about women when it comes to interpretation is women are really, really bad at interpreting why. They experience something, there's some stimuli, and their explanation for it and their understanding of it is always way off. It's always off. I'll give you just a quick example. Women can't wrap their head around why men make more money than them, on average. They can't wrap their head around it. It has to be misogyny, it has to be sexism and discrimination, all this kind of shit. It's like, it's really not that hard to read and understand the data if you put some effort into it. It's real simple. It's just things like maternity leave. It's just things like men work more overtime. It's just things like men work more dangerous jobs. I mean, there's just a ton of reasons why men make more money than women on average for their time. But no, it has to be a different explanation for it. An explanation that makes women a victim. And this chick is doing the same thing through her entire video, which I'm not gonna play. I'm just gonna point out a couple things about Alfonso that just show like how off women's interpretation of what they're experiencing, what they're seeing is. So she says, oh, I'm just telling the truth. Okay, the dude did not say that the black community does not support him because he has a white wife. He said basically the black community has never supported his projects, like in general, like before he was probably even married to those white women. And which is true. If you look at Carlton, and I'm talking to you guys that are like born in the 80s, or just are familiar with this particular actor. Let's be real. When has a black woman ever said that he was attractive? When has a black woman ever said, Carlton is so sexy? Like, when have they been posting pics of him? When has he been on the cover of any type of? He's never been a heartthrob, right? For black women. So real quick, I just want to point out, like, one of my experiences I have with the ridiculousness of how women interpret what they're seeing. I've had many black women come on my social media and complain about who I choose to paint, right? Oh, you only paint white bitches. You only paint white people. So in their mind, somehow I'm some type of, like, I don't know, racist. I don't even know what the hell they're trying to call me. But the accusation is that I only paint white people. Okay, let's use a little bit of brains. I'm a commission artist. I paint mostly things that people commission me to paint. Meaning it's usually not something I chose to paint, it's something someone paid me to paint. So how many black women have commissioned paintings for me? Let's see. I've been selling my artwork for like almost a decade now. And I could probably count on both hands how many times a black woman has bought a painting from me or commissioned a painting from me. Most likely, I'm pretty sure it's like around 10, maybe 10 or 12. That's not saying much because I sell a lot of paintings very frequently. So mostly it's been white people that buy my paintings. Now, do you really think I'm discriminating against black people buying my paintings? No, they're just not as interested. They're not in my DMs, okay? When I see a black person walking their dog and I say, hey, I paint dogs, they're not really too interested, okay? But white people are buying portraits of those Frenchies and those Pomeranians and those Dobermans and those German Shepherds. So I don't get it. So what exactly are you accusing me of? I'm painting what people pay me to paint. So what I tell these black women when they say this stupid shit is, hey, how many paintings have you bought? 0. So you come on my page to criticize that I only paint white people, but you don't come on my page to compliment my artwork. You don't come on my page to share my artwork. You don't come on my page to buy my artwork, but you come on my page to criticize that it's white people I paint mostly. Instead of using your brain and deducting that maybe it's white people that are buying this artwork, you go to some type of victimhood. Oh, you only paint white bitches. Well, white bitches buy my paintings, sister. And that's exactly what black women do when it comes to men dating non-black women. They sit here and complain about guys like, perfect example, Carlton, Alfonso. He's what you would call a square. He's what black women would call a nerd. Okay? But when he marries a white woman, all of a sudden he's on their radar, and they're putting all this energy and effort into complaining about him, roasting him, trying to tear him down. Okay? But he's invisible until he's with a white woman. Okay? I'm not even an unattractive black guy. I'm not even a nerdy black guy. Okay? I'm not even a non-athletic black guy. And women of color have never cared about me. And they never care about me more than when they see me with a non-black woman. All of a sudden, I'm on their radar. They see me. They're staring. They're complaining. They're making all these little sound effects. Right? But these women have no interest in me if I'm by myself.
Here's what Carlton Banks had to say. Cue the sad violin music in your head. Quote, I am in a mixed relationship, and I get things and looks and comments constantly. I find it very interesting because you see a lot of things on social media where people say things and people have positions and perspectives. And it's not easy to make that choice because you're not at home in any home. I'm never going to be white, and I'm never going to be fully supported in the black house. So I'm in my own little world with support from almost no one to be in love with someone I've fallen in love with. How does that make sense? It doesn't. We all want to live in a world where everyone is accepted for being and loving and living the way they choose to live. I will support any person that wants to live in a world they want to live in. I can't change their mind. All I can do is live my life and be me and be the best version of me and continue to love everybody equally and let it fall where it falls. End quote. I have one question for Alfonso. Are you out of your black ass mind? Who's constantly commenting or ever commenting on anything that he does? Nobody talks about this guy. I feel like Carlton just wanted to take a moment to remind those of us who knew, or let those of us who did not know, that he has a white wife. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that he has taken a similar opportunity. Check out Carlton as he loses himself in the music the moment he owned it and he never let it go, right here.
Hey, listen, don't f*** with me, because there's some hot white out here tonight. Okay, now,
hey, Alfonso,
now I gotta say, listen, I have been known to f*** some white girls in my lifetime.
yeah, go Alfonso, go.
Okay, now I have spent my life on some TMZ,
Yes.
and every time you see me in a club, Guess who I walk out with? Who? A lovely blonde white chick.
What just happened? So this is the hypocrisy. This is how ridiculous it is. You're complaining that guys you didn't want are dating non-black women. And the crazy thing is, when they show all these so-called celebrities that are that are dating white women or Asian women or Latin women, it's like, time out. Those are celebrities. Those are celebrities. The regular, everyday black guy is not dating non-black women. In fact, he's probably dating nobody. And if he is, it's more likely he's going to be with a black woman. It's in the 80-something percentile. Okay, most black millionaires are married to black women if they are married. But what black women are looking at are the celebrities. Celebrities that have, all this exposure. They're on magazines, they're on TV, they're on media all the time. Yeah, that's who they're looking at, acting as if that represents the real world. Black women are running around calling Beyonce and Jay-Z relationship goals, couple goals. Like, Beyonce and Jay-Z is Beyonce and Jay-Z. They don't represent the black community. The opposite, in fact. They're the extreme minority. Because most people that have money don't have the combination of money and fame. That's something completely different. There are plenty of millionaires that you've never heard of. You have no idea who they are. So how do you know who they're married to? Did you do some research? Because I've done the research. Yeah, okay? And most black men that are doing well for themselves that are married to black women. Moving on to my next point of this terrible understanding of the why. Now, if that's the case, let's just say that black women are right about this complaint, that all these black guys are dating non-black women and they're taking our men. Okay, why does that make you a victim? Why are we not asking the why? Because black women keep on giving the explanation. They keep giving the why, but black women aren't black men. So why don't you, sisters, shut up and stop coming up with your dumb reasons for why black men are not dating you and just ask black men. Because lately, black men are becoming more and more open about why they don't prefer black women. So just ask them. I don't understand. Okay, let me try to put this in a simpler way. Because this is something that came up just recently with one of my best friends. His son was like begging to like go play with some other kid, and the other kid wasn't even really that interested. We have a saying in Jamaica, we're not begging a friend. That means like you don't go around begging people to hang out with you and begging people to like you and to spend time with you. If people don't like you, they just don't like you. Move on. Find friends that it's mutual. So here's the thing. I grew up being told something similar too when I was a kid. My mother would never like for me to like be trying to follow behind somebody that wasn't interested in me. So if the other kids don't want to play with you, you have to ask yourself, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with this kid while the other kids don't want to play with this person? Okay? Because if the other kids are fine playing with each other, maybe the problem isn't the other kids. Maybe the problem is the kid that's being avoided. So if black women are being passed up, the problem isn't with black men. The proof is in the pudding. It proves itself. If these black men can date other women, right? Think about it. If a guy can date Asian women, he dates Latin women, he dates white women, right? He dates Indian women, right? Asian women, whatever. But he doesn't date black women. How does that make the problem with the guy? If he can successfully date all these other women are interested in dating him, I mean, hell the fuck low. Apparently, you know what I'm saying? He's compatible. But if the person that's having trouble being chosen, okay, that maybe that's the person that has an issue. Maybe that's the person that has to be like, why is it that I'm not getting chose? So instead of women, because I'm gonna say women on this one, because it's not just black women, this is women's logic in general. Okay, so if women aren't getting chosen, why aren't they looking at themselves and asking why they're not being chosen? Why are the men that have options not choosing them? And then they get stuck with the guys who don't have options and they're miserable about it. Does that sound any different than the work market? If you hate your job and you can't get a better job, the problem isn't with jobs, the problem is with your skill set, with what you have to mother and offer. You don't have anything to offer a better fucking job. That's why you have this job that you can't stand, that you hate, or no job at all. Why are people making this more complicated than it has to be? All right? Women need to figure out what they need to do to be chose. Now, I'm going to go ahead and can give you some more examples of how women in general have this logic and it works against them. You'll have overweight women saying that men only date skinny bitches. But yet the women that they're talking about aren't skinny. They're just fit, or most of the time just not fat. So you mean to tell me that if he's not interested in a woman that's overweight, all of a sudden he likes skinny bitches? Come on, bro. This is terrible interpretation and excuse making. And then you have women that will go even further to say, oh, men are perverts. They're sick. They're attracted to prepubescent girls. Wait, what? So if a girl's not fat, she has the body of a prepubescent girl, now she looks like she hasn't passed puberty because she's, what? Woosah. The lengths that women will go to avoid accountability is really amazing. It's amazing. And these are adults. These are adult women. I'm gonna give you another example of how women do this ridiculous, train of thought. You have women that are post-wall, late 30s, 40s, and obviously the highest quality of men their age are not interested in dating them. Why? Because those guys don't have to settle. Those guys have options. Okay? Me myself, I can even talk about from my perspective, being that I just turned 40. So, do I look fucking 40? Okay? So if I'm making, let's just say I'm making $100,000 a year, I'm 40, I'm in this shape, riddle me why I'd be dating a 40-year-old woman. Explain it to me. Because I could date women in their early 20s. I could date women whatever age I want. Whatever age, as long as they're over 18. Me, personally, I prefer 25. 25 for me is the perfect age. You know what I'm saying? Old enough to drink and mature enough, you know what I'm saying, to think. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys like that one. Old enough to drink, mature enough to think. So anyway, for me, that's the sweet spot, 25. That's a far cry from 40. A far fucking cry from 40. So why would a dude that has options be like, yeah, let me get the 40-year-old. Yeah, the one with the baggage. Yeah, no, the one with more baggage. Yeah, that one. Give me that. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, give me that one. The 40-year-old with all that baggage. Give me that one. Why would I do that? Unbelievable. Right? Now, their explanation for this is he's robbing the cradle. He likes babies. He likes children. Oh, I'm sorry. A chick that's 24 is a baby now? Because that same woman that's saying that, when she was 24, she was grown, girl. When she was 24, she was grown. But now she's 40, 24 is children. 24 is babies. And she's shaming men for choosing to date younger, more vibrant women. Sometimes that same woman turned down plenty of guys up until she got to 37, 38, 39, 40. And now she's complaining that those same guys, or that generation of guys, are no longer interested in women her age and dating younger women. And her explanation is she's some kind of victim and men are the problem. Men's preferences now are all of a sudden the problem. So let's bring it back to the black women. You know damn well the average black woman would not be caught in any kind of relationship with so-called Carlton or a guy like Carlton. Hold on. Let's just go over a little bit of his career real quick, because I was looking at some of his accolades and I was like, yeah, definitely no black woman is interested in that. Well, let me not say no, because then there'll be somebody arguing with me trying to tell me that my perspective is wrong because I said all. Jesus Christ, y'all so childish. Anyway, this dude was on Broadway. Oh, that's right, black women be checking for dudes on Broadway. This dude was tap dancing. Oh, that's right, black women be checking for dudes that tap dance. Really, we all are familiar with his character on Fresh Prince, right? Oh, that's right. That's the type of black dudes that black women think is sexy. Carlton. That's who they think of when they think of, dude. Catch 21, ABC Family. This guy was he was on Dancing with the Stars. Let's look at the ratings and the demographic of who watches Dancing with the Stars. So I bet you it's mostly black women, I'm sure. I'm sure they're not watching Scandal. Oh no, they're watching Dancing with the Stars. They're not watching Housewives of Atlanta. No. They're watching Dancing with the Stars. Dude, please, knock it off. Okay? Black women should have absolutely nothing to say about my artwork because they don't buy it or support it. Black women should have nothing to say about Alfonso because they don't want to date him and they don't want to support his work. Okay? So they need to just shut up and stop complaining. And on top of that, these black women would have all the time and energy to be sitting here complaining on the internet if they had men of their own, if they had their own man. And on top of that, they would never be in a position to meet or date Alfonso anyway. So what difference does it make? Stop looking for something to caring about. Stop caring about other people's lives and other people's choices. Stop telling men who they can date and who they can't date. Stop it. Because these are the same women that are least likely to accept a man telling them what to do, what to think, what to want, who to date, who not to date, who to have bastard children with. Yeah, black men aren't allowed to, critique black women, right? Black men aren't supposed to tell black women nothing. We ain't supposed to tell them what to do at all. But here they go, griping and complaining when black men just, do what men in general are doing. Move on. Move on, find something that works. That's it, case closed. Case closed. So right here, you can see she's also, once again, misinterpreting the stimuli. All right? This guy is saying that every time he goes to the club, he ends up leaving with a pretty blonde chick. Now, when black women hear that, they misinterpret it. Because what they think he's saying is that he intentionally goes around looking for white women to hook up with and to leave with. Where more likely what he's probably saying is that in his experience, he's only able to get white women. As a man, and analyzing his character and his personality and the way he's, represented and presented to the world, I would gamble my money, I would bet my money that this guy isn't most popular with Latin women, that he's just not making the coochie box wet with black women. I would go as far to say, if I had to put my money on it, I think pretty much the only women, or the women that would like him the most, would be white women. This is a dude that wears sweater vests over button downs. Okay? So let's just be real. This guy dresses like he's going to play golf or tennis every day. Now, who's attracted to that type of attire for the most part? White women. And a certain type of white women at that. It's not even that it's like white women are attracted to like a guy like Carlton. That's not even the case. That's bullshit. No, white women are attracted to guys like me. You know what I'm saying? Guys like the dude that plays Thor, Chris Hemsworth or whatever. The dude that plays Superman. You know what I'm saying? White women are attracted to a wide range of, different types of men. But there's a demographic of white women that are attracted to guys that dress like they're playing tennis and shit, that preppy look or whatever, right? So the women that would fit into the demographic of who likes that the most would be a particular type of white women, okay? That's just what it is. So what Carlton is doing is he's going where he's wanted, right? And that's recommended to guys. That should be recommended to guys even more. When guys are traveling and the whole passport gang and all of that, what that's about is going where you have better experiences and better results with women. Whether it's temporary, just on a trip, okay, to get a different perspective, a different experience, or if you're straight up moving and working remotely or getting work in another country because you prefer the culture, you prefer the lifestyle, you prefer the women. And that's a big motivator for men. We already know that, okay? Men's attraction for women is what makes the world go around. That's how we got to this point as a society. Men were putting all that effort in for women at the end of the day, right? That's a great motivating factor for men, consciously and subconsciously. So yeah, it's enough to get a guy to move to another country. Whereas women won't even move to another state for a promotion if the building doesn't allow dogs, okay? Or she won't move to another city for a job promotion if she doesn't have any family members in that city, or don't have any friends in that city, okay? So women are a lot less likely to, change their life or take a risk or go somewhere new or leave their support group or leave their safety net or anything like that, okay, for a man. But men will do it for women. It's just what it is. So I'm not even addressing this like about Alfonso in particular. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to call him Carlton. But when I talk about the Megan Goods and I talk about, you know what I mean, the Carltons, I'm not talking about them as an individual. I don't really care about that. You know, everybody else can get caught up in that gossip and that stupid celebrity drama. I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying, the overlapping themes that we have to deal with, you know what I'm saying, as average folk. And this mentality, you know what I'm saying, is all over the place. And it's contagious. And it's stupid. So, guys, don't fall for this nonsense. Do what you gotta do. Deal with who, you know what I'm saying, treats you the best. It's that simple. If you're a brother, you're a black dude, don't limit yourself to black women. I tell guys that all the time, bro, because they hit me up with all the shit that they're going through. All my boys that date black women, they're always stressed out. I'm not saying that black women are the only women that are stressful. I have to be like so careful as what I'm saying because y'all so sensitive and take everything the wrong way. Over here, white knighting for black women, well, at the end of the day, okay, let me ask a question, all right? When are black women white knighting for black men? I mean, sorry, black women. When are black women defending black men on a whole? Never. Never. You know what I'm saying? They're never defending us. So why are we supposed to be going out of our way to tear down a brother who's not dating sisters? We're supposed to jump on him too. And the funny thing is, all the black guys that are tearing him up and making all these negative comments on Twitter, black women don't love you. What are black women holding you down? What are black women making sure that your preferences are offered? Where are all these black women that going out of their way to satisfy black men, to address black men's complaints? Where are all these black women jumping up and criticizing black women that are ruining their reputation as a whole? Where is it? Where is it? I'd like to see it. And all these people tearing him up for marrying a white woman. Okay, well, why aren't you criticizing the black people that are killing each other? Why aren't you criticizing the black dudes that are selling drugs to each other? Why aren't you criticizing the black athletes and saying, you only play for white teams? You only play for white owners? Where's your logic then? Right? Why are you not criticizing black dudes for having white coaches? White managers? White accountants? Come on, man, I'm just asking some questions here. Right? Exactly. You so busy worrying about who he's sleeping with and who he's married with, but you ain't concerned with who he's doing business with. Okay? So all I'm saying is, if you're gonna use this logic across the board. All right? Because when guys start acting like bitches, we got a problem. So I expect this from black women. I don't expect it from black men. I expect black men roasting Carlton because he got a white wife. So what? And the funny thing is, black women sit here acting mad that his children don't look black. Listen, I don't think those are his kids. That's what's weird to me. His children definitely do not look like they're mixed. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'll tell you this much. I've seen black guys play stepdaddy to white kids. I think it's bizarre. I think it's weird. Me personally, I can't do it. Okay? I was with a white chick before, and I was playing stepdaddy, but her kids were with a Dominican dude, and everybody and their mother swore that those were my kids. So it didn't feel awkward. You know what I'm saying? But what he's doing, like a black dude hugging white kids and touching white kids, it just seems weird to me. It just doesn't look right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it just looks bizarre to me. But where I see the hypocrisy in that is you got all these black women with children out of wedlock looking for a stepdaddy, but you're over here criticizing this dude for allegedly raising someone else's kids. I don't know if those are his kids or not. I'm just saying. That's some of the things that I've read that black women are saying or complaining about, but yet black women expect black men to come and be stepdaddies for their kids. So how you roasting him for raising another man's kids, but black women expect someone to come raise their kids? Women in general expect somebody else to come raise their bastard children. Anyway, I say all this shit to just make y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Forget what I think. Think for yourself is all I'm saying. But all this criticism about black men dating out when majority of black men aren't even dating out, but even if they were, that would not signify to me that there's a problem with black men and their dating preferences or self-love or whatever else people try to make it out to be. I think that's an issue with the performance of black women. Just like in the free market. If you're looking at a product and the reviews are terrible and nobody's buying that product, you're gonna blame the market? You're gonna blame the consumers? Oh, how dare you not buy this product? No, the problem's with the product if nobody wants to buy it and it's getting bad reviews. And right now, black women are the least married and they're getting the worst reviews. So personally, I'm not emotionally invested in this. Okay, I'm not gonna be over here suffering just because I'm so-called black. I don't even buy into that rhetoric. I'm not black, all right? I'm from a country, I'm from a nation, and that place is not called black. You're not gonna name me. So this divided mentality, is working against the black community. The black community needs to stop fighting amongst itself. And if black women wanna be with black men, this is definitely not the way to go about it. So anyway, man,